This is the Tokyo Ghoul after show.
Indeed, for episode 2.
3.
3. I can count. I forgot we did 2
and
last
1
time. Yeah, this will be a shorter video. It's a bit simpler, less introductions and kind of basic conversation.
Well, hopefully it will be. We'll see. But yeah. I'm Daniel Rudd.
I am Zach Clapperich.
And yeah, I guess this episode, what happened?
Yeah, just generally, I'm really torn on this episode. It was probably the funniest episode of Tokyo Ghoul in all 3 seasons, I think, for me. It was
the most lighthearted, but we're also dealing with a much more lighthearted main character.
That is true.
We don't have a tormented person anymore.
That is true, and it was a build-up episode because everything's about to go to hell. It is about to turn. Yeah, and honestly, nothing really happened in this episode. It was all build-up. It was character development. It was setting the lines for. I can feel like what's coming is the big split of the characters, because right now they're still a team.
Yes.
And after this is when we're really going to have all the wedges and derisions really placed in, and yeah, so that's all that was happening here. Was we were sort of setting up the team, making them feel good again. Mm-hmm. If you notice, you can't end an episode with everyone laughing in Tokyo Ghoul, because no one laughs in Tokyo Ghoul, or you're gonna die.
Although we did have a really good change in TV cut scene to commercial or whatever.
Yeah.
With
let's become
women, and we're like, it was good. Okay, it was good.
Yeah.
So.
Also, there was really into those underpants. They came up 4 times in the episode. It had a good amount of screen time.
Yeah, if there's any, I guarantee you there's fan fiction, but if there's any high-say fetishes out there, or fetishers,
something like that.
I don't know. I just created a word. I think.
But either way, so the point of this, there's not really anything to discuss when it comes to plot in this one. So just a very general sort of overview here. The whole point of this was really setting Yuri up to be. They're kind of shaping him to be a bad guy, I think.
I would say more like a
counterbalance to Heisei, I would say.
Yeah, but the thing is the CCG is full of people like Urie. Because just people who are so hell-bent on revenge or whatever. Their goal is that they will do things like lie about, because we saw in episode 2 that he stole Heisei's signature, that little stamp. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but in Japan, when signing contracts, you don't actually sign your name. You have a little family seal, stamp type thing, and then you stamp documents like that.
Old school.
Yeah, I want one.
But that absolutely is his arc is shaping him up to definitely be he is just so hell bent on it. He's the motto of season 1. How Motto was crazy and he was obsessive. And once you finally learn why, it makes more sense. And I'm sure we're gonna get much more of that Yuri. Ure. And you'll because his character is a really strong character. It's really well done. And then besides that, they started out basically setting up Toru to be in the pits next week.
Toru.
Yeah. Mutsuki, whatever. She's nuts. And she's gonna be more nuts, especially after next.
And nuts in a good way, not crazy.
Yeah.
But not cracker.
But yeah, so sort of run along. To me, I'll start just saying before we go into more detailed stuff. I'd give this a 7.5. It was funny, it was positive, it was a cool show. But just nothing really happened to hook me. I felt after watching it, I was just it was almost what I should watch before the next episode. In the little 2-minute clip, I could have got almost all of that in a 2-minute clip.
Yeah, it was a kind of a season review type of a thing before they move forward with a big thing or something like that. But that happens a lot in anime in general, where Absolutely. It's just where they do a whole recap before they hit this huge arc type of thing,
we all remember fucking Goku holding a spirit bomb for 18 episodes.
Yeah.
Before he actually did anything.
Or Naruto, where they spend 10 episodes doing whatchamacallit, I forget. Doing filler episodes before they get to a big thing in the battle or something like that.
Exactly. But yeah, so I'd give, and because honestly the art was pretty good in this one, I really liked it. If anyone else is familiar, it reminded me it's cleaning up really well, and it has a kind of sharp edge in the same way that Castlevania did. The studio that did Castlevania on Netflix is phenomenal. An outstanding studio when it comes to animated design. And this episode gave me some of those, like some of the more like character-driven moments where it's about facial expression and small movements. They did really well in this episode. I was super pleased.
We opened with Urie requesting his frame upgrade.
No, we opened with Sukiyama.
Oh, that's right. In the shorts.
They're getting ready for that Rose Wall action. Right. And we got introduced to Kane.
Like basically his right hand.
Yeah, who's going to be an awesome character. There's get excited. Kane's really cool. There's a crazy obsessive art going on with him that you'll see.
They did a good job integrating the little girl, like the photographer girl, like showing how she kind of all fits in. And I feel like we didn't quite get that even in the book, really. Or at least they made they did a better job in the anime of making a point to be like, this is who she is, this is why she's here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you do get a good feel. Like, so it moved well. It was a good episode. I was bored some of the time. That's really the only problem. What's your basic sort of overview?
I mean, I would even go. I'd give it a 7. There was a lot of. It was like, it was a very fun, lighthearted episode. The first, I mean, when you set the bar at like for the first 2 episodes that high, where you have there's a lot more action, a lot more emotion. I mean, think of like the moments that we ended on as just episode 2. The moment we started with and the moment we ended with are 2 really high tension, plot point, like they're like huge plot points in the entire series. And this time, but I really liked seeing Juzo again. That was cool.
Oh yeah, Juzo's. She's the character favorite. I feel like Juzo was one of those characters that got like Daryl'd. Like I feel like Juzo got brought in, or when she wrote Juzo probably shouldn't have survived. Probably not past the first Yoshimura fight. But Juzo's just so sick. Yeah. Like, she's such a sick character.
I don't think Yoshimura was trying to kill anybody. Like, Yoshimura, I feel like he's at a point where he doesn't really try to, like...
True. But I mean, at the final, like, the final end of the coffee house raid or whatnot, like, Yoshimura was fucking people up. And Yoshimura, like, chopped her leg off, and she got really messed up. Oh, I'm wobbling. Wobbler. But yeah, and point being, I just think Juzo, like, it seems to me like Juzo should not still be alive. It's insane. But Juzo is quickly becoming like the next Arima.
Yeah, but they did a really good job of like showcasing that Juzo has a lot of raw natural talent, and like as we know now. But I feel like, obviously, I think in the next episodes we're gonna really see a display of when you take that just raw, unharnessed, wild energy and you focus it. It's just he's gonna be
because I mean, this isn't spoiler. If you watched the last season, you should know that like the Juzo and Big Madam are connected very intimately, and so these next few episodes are gonna get wild.
Yes,
because you're finally gonna see Juzo go off and just absolutely go nuts. The first time you see like her prosthetic leg, there's so much cool shit.
Yeah. Because if you don't remember, Juzo lost his leg.
Yeah. Do I still keep saying her?
You keep saying her.
Fucking A. Sorry. Juzo's kind of a mix. It's hard.
Then that's a spoiler, I guess.
Not really. You learned that a lot in the last season.
Did we learn that last
season 2? Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I mean, you did in the manga
at all, then you know.
If it's just, I don't think they did it in the anime. I think it was only in the manga that they went over that.
No, because they definitely showed. They showed Big Mama pull out the hammer and was like, "We're gonna do this." Bye. They showed him. Yeah, they definitely did.
I'm not a fan of that.
But it's going to get wild. And just the whole thing. Because now, coming in just seeing the future predictions, things we see, like, now you're going to introduce to the clowns, how the clowns are more involved than you thought they were.
Yeah.
The clowns are running some crazy shit. And then, like, Mato's finally coming back in. You have the rest of the Doves teaming up with the Queen because it's Division 2. There's so much shit adding up. Like, it's going to get wild.
Yeah, fuck Washu, though. I hate that guy so much.
Yeah. Oh, all the Washus. The entire Washu clan is trash.
The first Washu is fine. The second Washu, I'm just like...
Oh, the head of Division 2?
Yeah, the one who, like, organizing the auction raid. He's kind of a dick.
I think it's Matsuki.
I'm just gonna call him the second Wash.
Yeah, Washu douche.
Wash douche?
Dushu? Count Dushu?
Count douche.
There we go. He's Count Dushu.
Got it. Count douche.
But alright, so yeah, basically that's the basics. The characters, I feel like there's one standout star of this entire episode. Who do you think it is?
I would say
Like the one new addition that's like the star of this episode.
There's two that really who really like.
If you say someone different than what I'm thinking, I'm gonna be. It's gonna be
the two are Toru and Juzo.
No, fucking Psycho. She's like, she finally got some play and she's hilarious. I love that girl. Like, she's super cool.
I love how she was gonna like smash her PSP and then she's like, I'm just gonna log out.
Yeah. And she's just like, don't skin me, bagworms are precious. Like, she's hilarious. And then her dancing, she's money. I'm gonna steal a dance move. It's a good one.
It's good. What are you talking about? Shirazu had way better dance moves.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on Shirazu.
Oh, okay.
But that was my favorite character by far. Because everyone else sort of followed their own path. It's awesome seeing Juzo in there. But like the only person that was like, oh, this is a cool, interesting thing was really that. For me was Yonbayashi coming back in.
Yeah, it makes more sense why we had a little bit more of her last episode because of how fast they are now moving because we got the
yeah.
It was everything is appropriate, but you probably know more about her than I do because you're farther ahead on the reading. But she doesn't do a whole hell of a lot.
She doesn't do a whole lot at all.
Oh, okay.
She gets cool. Like she's got a super, and she finally gets a Kagane release. Like she's actually a thug.
Is she like the team mascot?
She is. Like, she really is. She's always, like, she is comic relief. And that's what she is. But this episode, since we didn't have any fucking action, nothing really happened. Like, I really appreciated the comic relief of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was, like, the only thing where I was like, oh, there's a reason I'm watching this. And I'm, like, seeing something new.
Yeah. But there was an interesting conversation with the father and Heisei.
With Danzo?
Yeah. Because it was talking about him just, I don't know if you know who the ghoul he was talking about, but they didn't let us know who was asking about Kaneki. But obviously, some people in the community know that, like, have pieced together that Heisei is Kaneki or like have their suspicions about it, but we didn't get to know. But he posed some really cool questions about just like moral compass things for Heisei.
No, that is really nice, because it's one thing that even comes up in it's a very, like, a pretty real life thing. Like, think about just natural regression. Like, people that have PTSD, people that have repressed things. That's kind of what it's getting at, is when he asks the question, he doesn't ask, like, why don't you remember who you are? You should figure it out. Like, you have to do this. He kind of asks, like, hey, you have lost memories of you doing bad shit. Would you prefer to learn them and have them with you, or do you think they'll ruin the image you have now? And that's a question people really have to ask when it's like, say someone that's been a victim of like a violent trauma or sexual trauma or something. Yeah. And if they've repressed it, then it's not really theirs and they can't own it and defeat it. But if they remember it, then they have to live with that. And so, like, and that's kind of what Heisei says when he's in the bars, he goes, even if I lose these things, like, I don't want to lose you all.
I don't want to lose what I'm experiencing now.
Yeah, and what I've become. And that's a very human thing. And that's one thing that Shuei Yasuida does so well, is bring in very human issues. Even with the Toru, she... this is not really a spoiler, we all know if you're watching the show. So it's a girl pretending to be a boy to the Queen Squad, and when she's on the dance floor, all she can think about is like being a girl again and how so many people are staring at her, and it gives her so much anxiety. And that is a real thing, and so she's struggling with this like gender identity crisis in the midst of a fucking ghoul war. She's more worried about like real human stuff, and that's something Shuei doesn't like shy away from when he writes.
Yeah.
Is like putting in that real stuff that's all mixed in. It's like fear of like just societal norms. What am I supposed to be? What are people looking at me for? Like, what do they see in me? And so all those things are really incredible. Now we're talking about this episode. I like that. I forgot about the Donna Show talk.
Yeah, because that was going more into the amnesia thing, where Heisei's amnesia is a lot different than just like memory loss. Yeah. Because it's more like
he was like reprogrammed.
Yeah, it's like reprogrammed. It's like dual personalities where like whenever this happens, it's going to be, and I think he has an idea because he's had an encounter with his other self, but like it's vastly different because it's like it's a whole different person. It's not just things that had happened to him that he has forgotten, and he's still the same person. Yeah. He was completely different.
Yeah, they made a whole new person.
He
has different character traits, physical traits, like total different aspects of who he is.
Because
one thing, did you notice in this episode that his hair wasn't like half black, half white in some of the shots?
Like it's getting.
I feel like the animation.
Is it getting whiter or is it getting black?
I feel like that was just a mess up on the edit.
Okay,
because like there was a couple shots you couldn't see any black; it was all white again, and that's scary, Kaneki.
That's scary Kaneki or really cool Kaneki?
Same thing.
Same.
You know the girls I date, scary and cool, run alongside each other.
Holy shit. Anyways.
Yeah, sorry.
One of the things that that I noticed is Ure, this is just like, I'm not sure what this is about really, because it didn't pertain to the story at all, but on the newspaper that Ure was reading before they went to go get Psycho and he puts it down, a lot of like the title text was blurred out, and I'm just like, and I know in Tokyo Ghoul season 1/2, the first part, they blurred out a lot of the graphic stuff because certain reasons. I'm not exactly sure, but it's yeah. Yeah,
no, it is odd. I wonder if that was done pre or post, like if it was set up like that, because it kind of defeats the purpose of laying a newspaper down if you're going to blur out the whole paper. I don't know what they're dealing with. That is one thing I've learned. I was reading online about one of the issues they're having. Like for instance, we were talking about the fight last week.
Yes.
The big fight between Nishio and Heise, and it was kind of toned down a lot. And what I didn't realize was that this show is, I guess by industry standards in Japan, has to be like kind of a PG-13 show. And I didn't know that. Like, I thought this was a very bloody, violent, rated R show.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in America it is still like a mature show.
Yeah, it's still
but over there they have to tone it down.
Yeah.
Like, so it brought up a good point. Like, I was going back through it, and there's a point where Nishio in that fight kicks through Kaneki. Like, literally kicks through his body.
Because that's what
and they toned that down
that's like
so
his
much.
Move.
Yeah, exactly. And they have to tone it down so much. And I'm wondering if the edits come like pre or post. Like, what do they have to cut out? What do they have to blur? Those are weird things to think about.
That is a good question. I'm actually gonna.
And just to move along a little bit, what are like the things you didn't like?
Things I didn't like. I mean, obviously the lack of, like, not a whole lot happened. That's really it. Is like, I felt the thing that I didn't like is like, even though I felt like we got too much information in this episode to really like dive into certain things. Like, there's a lot going on. Like, one of the things that I felt like kind of skipped over was Nico and what's her name? Is it Nico or it's Nico. Like Jason's right hand until Jason's not around anymore.
Naki.
That's Naki. No, the other guy.
Yeah, the little crazy guy who can't speak well?
No, not the guy in the suit. The other one. With the...
Oh, Kane.
No.
Fucking A.
Nico. Anyway.
The clown.
Yeah.
The butt chin clown.
Yeah, the butt chin clown.
Okay, yeah, I just call him the butt chin clown because I don't know what his name is. Okay. It's fine, he's the butt chin clown. He's tall guy.
But, like, Nico and the girl, like, when I was reading it, I felt like the moment hung onto it a little better. But, one of my favorite lines was like watching wine spill is a beautiful sight, or there's nothing more beautiful than watching wine spill, or something like that. And that was, and I feel like in when I was reading it, at least there was, I felt like that was heavier than it was on this episode. Like, it was just kind of like skipped over. Like, they did do the shot and everything, but it just
on a page. That's one of the things with written poetry and spoken poetry, like, it's beautiful to hear certain things, but reading something when you can sit and like bask in it, like, there's something beautiful about that. And you can sit there and just like wait on the page and let it happen, because this episode, like, so much stuff was going on, like, no action happened in progress. There was just so many scenes so fast, and so much more dialogue in this than most of them.
How about you? What was your dislike?
One of my things, like, they're not giving my boy enough development. Yurei, whatever his name is. So, hold on. Let me explain this. Okay. I don't like... So, you brought up the painting. So, at the end of this episode, everyone's training, and this, like, the most badass on the Queens besides Heise, of course, is Yurei. And he's awesome. And he just got a big, fresh upgrade, and everyone's training, and he's just painting. And I feel like what they're trying to do is, because they don't have enough time to really dig into, like, his personal thoughts and stuff like they do in the manga, what's ended up happening here is now they're kind of like giving him something to make him kind of the eccentric. So they're making him that. Like, the best reference I can do is like in say the Strain, the Guillermo del Toro show that came on FX.
I know it.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Point being, there's a point where like the big E, the badass investigator, whenever he's on the case, he's like, I just need a carton of milk, and he always like needs milk, and it's like, and I know you were trying to make him weird, that he needs like a thing, like he's this savant crazy guy, and they're trying to do that to him, and they're missing the point, like his real development is his hate for Heise. Because he really does, like, he thinks he's better than Heise, and he thinks he can be better.
He's told him that his plan is to basically tear the team apart and stand out as an individual. Like, it's like, he did all but say that exactly this episode.
I feel like it's being rushed. I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm upset. But besides that, and it's just really because, like, I want him to be an important character, because there's a lot of people in the manga who I feel are just, like, passed over. They're not given enough time, but he is, and I feel like the TV show can take advantage of that.
Okay.
As well as, like, Mutsuki also has an incredible thing that I really hope, which we'll see in the next 2 episodes, how far they dig into it, because this is when, like, her story gets dug into really hard, and that I really hope they don't skimp on, because I know they're going to give a ton amount of time to, like, Mato and the Doves attacking the auction, and they're going to give a lot of time to Juzo and Big Madam, but, like, I hope they give time to the more, like, storytelling parts rather than just the action.
Yeah, while we're going with like kind of predictions type stuff, and when it comes to that, I'm hoping that we really, like, you know, I'm all about those big feeling moments, as you know.
Oh yeah.
And so I really hope that I'm not going to say who it is, but Heise runs into one of Kaneki's friends from the past. At the end of everything, and I really hope that they give us enough of that, because it's not in the anime, but in the manga they have a very, very special relationship, and so I hope that is done in a way that I want it to be done, or in a way that's, like, enjoyable, because, like, I felt like they did a great job with Toka and Yomo and stuff in the coffee shop. That, like, really did. So and you know what, they haven't disappointed me yet with that, so I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah, that's one thing they're doing well. They're doing emotions well in this show. They're doing emotions and fear and stuff. What we really haven't seen, honestly, is full on, like, Ghoul on Ghoul action. Like, we haven't seen fighting. Like, we have barely seen. We saw like Nishio and
it was like
Heise.
a warm up fight.
But and that was about it. Like, the best action scene we saw was Arima, like, just fighting with a pen. Like, it's like, and so I'm excited to see what they do with actual action, and if they really, like, dig into it and do it well. And but emotions they seem to have in the bag. I feel like the writers are more on par than the animators in this one. Like, the writers are actually doing more, which was the exact opposite of the second season. Yeah. Because second season animation was on point, but it was just all over the place. Like, the writers were just scrambling to make get enough in each episode.
Or cram a bunch of information into
it was weird. Yeah. And so this is like the opposite. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this. I give it a 7.5. I like the episode. I don't care to watch this one again.
Yeah.
I just need the next 2 weeks.
This is an episode I could skip when rewatching.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But that's about it for this. The only other thing I have was Donato. This is the first time, like, I'm way ahead in the manga, but, like, even now, like, watching this, this is the first time I watched the intro, and I realized, like, how heavy they go into his eyes, and it's like pullback shot, making him look like Dracula.
Dude, he is intimidating, like, and poised.
Absolutely, and what they're shaping him up, like, secretly to be, so, like, what some people might know, some people don't. There's a lot of characters that you don't realize are actually the main characters that you will eventually realize. There are people hiding, like, in the seams that you see in most episodes that are huge, and you have no idea until we get there. And I think Donato is going to be one. Like, I don't even know this yet.
It was like Uta end of season 2, where it's just like it's just this mask maker guy that was a bad guy, and then all of a sudden they pull the rug out from under you of, like, who you think he is. It's like nah, he's got plans.
Yeah, Uta has huge plans, and Donato is obviously up to something, and that's my biggest thing right now, that I'm reading as fast as I can, trying to figure out who Donato is, how is he connected to everyone, what are all these things.
Because he has a lot, like, I mean, he really, for what we know about him, he has a little bit too much information and knowledge about, and so, like, I'm wondering if someone is feeding him information
Oh, I'm sure.
So that he can.
I mean, I don't think it's any mystery that like everyone's
CCG.
corrupt in the show. Like it's at this point, it's barely a secret that like there's dirty people in and there's the lines are getting blurred. I think that's the kind of the point of is showing like the lines are more blurred than you think. It's really
if we thought we were blurred last season, they're much more blurred than.
Oh yeah. And which is funny because there's actually like what we'll come into realizing is that there's like two versions of blurry. Like there's the blurred like we're all connected to like keep everybody down. There's the blurred. There's also another style of like we need to blur and like save everyone. And one's like no, we need to keep the war going.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's leading into. Is
wow,
like this
that
mess.
Sounds a lot like what's happening in our world.
Yes. But yeah, that was my last thing. Is Donato. I'm super excited to see like what happens with him. He's a really cool character. That has a lot of potential to grow and to turn into a really good bad guy. Because all we know about him is that he's SS rated, and that
for some reason,
and that Amon hated him.
Well, we know why Amon hated him.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like his story, but that's all we know. Like we don't know anything except he eats kids. However, like everyone knows him. Every ghoul knows him and respects him. So like, what's going on? That's a crazy thing.
What happens if he's Yoshimura's brother?
That would be. I don't know if that would throw a wrench in or if that like wouldn't matter at all. Since Yoshimura's gone now, like it doesn't really matter.
Yoshimura's still around. We just don't know where he's at. Did you not make it to the end of that? Where the well, no, we know because
Etta like ate him,
and then she spat him out again.
Hey, I think he's dead. I don't think he doesn't show up.
We'll see. We'll see.
Who knows? Maybe he's the final bad guy. Who fucking knows? But point being, that's Tokyo Ghoul. Because nobody knows what's going on ever.
We think we do, and then we don't.
And then you're wrong every time.
So non-Tokyo Ghoul type stuff. What's going on with you? You just finished a production meeting for the next episode?
Yes, Star Wars Bounty Hunters season deliver. I'm directing third episode right now. Tomorrow morning, I have call time 4 a.m. So wish me luck. Nobody sleeps in LA. And that's about it in my life. Yeah, you got anything? Anything about your life before we head out?
So, assuming I can get my stuff together, and it will probably, it might go up before this goes up, but I'm hoping not everything works out. I have a New Boy Hero video is going to be coming out hopefully on this Thursday. If it doesn't come out this Thursday, it will be next Thursday, but I'm editing that. Going into the studio to do a new single next week, so we gotta work around that. But anyways, we'll be doing that's what I've got going on. Just had a meeting for some Boy Hero merchandise with Steve, who you guys know. He's actually an incredible graphic designer and graphic artist, so that'll be exciting. But yeah, that's my world.
Yeah, that's my world. You're just living in it.
I mean, technically,
a squirrel trying to find a nut
or an avocado.
Or an avocado. Yeah, exactly. Nuts.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in.
Absolutely. This is Zach signing out.
I'm Daniel. I'll be around.